Hello, this is May the 13th. Yes, I do have to check because, of course, this isn't my May the 13th. This is my April 27th. Anyway, The Pig in the Pond. This is a tiny book. I hope I can get it close enough for you to be able to read later if you want to. This is the story of Neligan's pig. What a tiny book. One day, Neligan went into town. It was hot. It was dry. The sun shone in the sky. Neligan's pig sat by Neligan's pond. The ducks went quack. The geese went honk. They were cool on the water in Neligan's pond. You'll notice they say on because they're on top of. If they didn't swim so well and float on the top, then they'd be in the water. And if they were drowning, they'd be under. The pig sat in the sun. She looked at the pond. The ducks went quack. The geese went honk. The pig went quack. She didn't go in because pigs don't swim. Yes, they do actually. The pig sat in the sun, getting hotter and hotter. The ducks went quack quack. The geese went honk honk. The pig went quack quack. She didn't go in because pigs don't swim. Oh, that poor little pig. The pig gulped and gasped and looked at the water. The ducks went quack, quack, quack. The geese went honk, honk, honk. The pig went She rose from the ground and turned around and round, stamping her trotters and twirling her tail. And guess what she's going to do? Splash! Splash, 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 splash. Oh no! Got the poor, is it a duck or a goose? Are they all white? They are, they've got white geese and white ducks, so they're a bit hard to tell apart. Oh, look at them. That one's stuck up in a tree. That one's under the tree. That one's lying on the ground. Look, there's a little frog on top of that one. The ducks and the geese were splashed out of the pond. See, pigs do swim. The ducks went quack, 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 quack. The geese went honk, 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 which means very loudly, the pig's in the pond. Look at them, they're so angry. Why have they got fingers? It's not the way their fingers look. Anyway. The pig's in the pond. 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 The word spread about above and beyond. At Neligan's farm, the pig's in the pond. What have we got? A cow. 3 goats. 3 sheep. 2 more bovines, a cow and a calf. A rooster. A cat, some hens, and a dog. From the fields all around they came to see the pig in the pond at Neligan's farm. And then, what do you think they're going to do? Neligan came in his cart. Ooh. I wonder if they're going to all tell tales about the pig in the pond. Neligan looked at the pig in the pond. The pig went. Neligan took off his hat. Neligan looked at the pig in the pond. The pig went. Neligan took off his trousers and boots. Neligan looked at the pig in the pond. The pig went. Neligan took off his shirt. Neligan looked at the pig in the pond. The pig went. Neligan took off his pants and... It's a bit Rudy-Nudie, isn't it? Splash! Neligan joined the pig in the pond. What happened next? Do you know what happened next? So many fish and frogs going flying. Sploosh! What animals can you see there? Can you stop the video and see what you can see and count them all up? They all joined the pig in the pond. It's a good way to cool off. And that was the story of Neligan's pig. The other day, we drew a picture of the little piggy who stayed at home, and it was very easy because it was a circle with some triangles and another circle. Today we're going to try and draw that one. Are we ready? Got my handy dandy mega sketcher. Right, I've had a practice. We'll see how it goes though. Let's put in the snout. The snout is quite flat and straight when you look at it from sideways on. And then there's his head and down to his body. Now, as we realised the other day when I drew the elephant, it's very hard to draw at an angle like this. And then this comes down, and he's got his front legs. This is the shoulder roast part. And it comes down into his trotters, and he's got 2 toes that hit the ground. And then he's got up into the hock of the animal. This is where you get your Christmas ham from if you eat Christmas ham. I ate so much Christmas ham last Christmas that I was quite sick of ham after a while. And look, I've managed to get them the wrong ear sizes, so we're going to have to take that down. Any better? That'll do. His ears. Have you seen how they sell pig ears to feed to dogs? They have little eyes, but actually they're about the size of our eyes. We are very, very similar animals. Not every culture eats pork because it's considered a very dirty animal. Definitely in my family, even though we do eat pork, my dad's first wife, my sister's mum, got sick from eating pork and died. So there is something in that. There is the pig. Shall we give him a little smile? Delicious pig. I mean, pig. Can you draw a pig? Some of you might be very clever and draw me a piece of bacon instead. Bacon. Is bacon the best meat ever? I don't think so. I think it's just got really good PR. This story is called Boss for a Week. I don't think this is my copy of the book from when I was little, but definitely I had this book when I was little. There's also, well, there was years ago, a copy of this with a tape, a cassette tape, in the book room at school. It was a very long time ago. Boss for a Week. Lollipop power now! This is for Caroline. And I have a cousin called Caroline. She's much older than me because I'm a second nest, they're called, because of course my dad's first wife died from eating pig. Bad pig. It wasn't cooked properly, it was a wild pig that had been living on a rubbish dump. So my sister and my cousin are much older than me. And my cousin Caroline's actually my godmother, which means that growing up she was responsible for certain aspects of my life. But this book always reminded me of her, even though she was an adult. If I were boss on Monday in our house, I'd make this rule. All people living here coming in from work or school must change their clothes immediately. No bare feet either. But, Monday the 5th notice, boots must be worn in the kitchen by order the boss. Biscuits may be eaten at any time. Giggling is permitted. My auntie once made me stand outside on the steps because I couldn't stop giggling. How old was I? think I was about 42 at the time. Little Caroline, sweet Caroline, neat and netty, darling Caroline, may go straight out to play. If I were boss on Tuesday in our house, I'd proclaim all people living here must be inside this house by 5 o'clock on the dot, except for little Caroline, sweet Caroline, prompt and punctual, darling Caroline. She may stay out later, even if it gets a little dark. Let's read this way first. So we've got flow. Toothpaste must be squeezed in the middle. This is why the Colgate pump is very useful. No squeezing. Towels and clothes may be left on the floor. Do your parents growl at you about these things? I think Caroline gets growled at quite a bit. If I were boss on Wednesday in our house, I'd insist all people sitting at the table about to eat must get up and wash their hands and faces too, and their knees. Everyone except for little Caroline, sweet Caroline, clean and gleaming, darling Caroline. She may start her dinner. Look at how clean she is. Her face is several different colours of the dirt. And Grandpa and Grandma. If I were boss on Thursday in our house, I'd announce loud and clear, if Dad's got the leftover meatloaf in his sandwiches for lunch, then little Caroline, sweet Caroline, hungry, starving, darling Caroline, she shall have the same. Certainly not spaghetti. Meanwhile, in lockdown, my cousin is so sick of proper grown-up food, all he wants is spaghetti on toast. Or sausage and a piece of bread. If I were boss on Friday in our house, I'd tell them straight. All people not having to attend school tomorrow may stay up as long as they like and watch television. Especially little Caroline, sweet Caroline, perky, wide-awake, darling Caroline. She may choose the channel too. This is a cathode tube. Much fatter than TVs now, aren't they? And we didn't have YouTube in those days. And to change the channel, she would have had to actually gone up and twirled something. Rich Uncle Bill. Head office. No boring jobs done today. If I were boss on Saturday in our house, I'd instruct the grown-ups, no chores for kids today, no making beds, no dishes, hanging out clothes or dusting. Anyway, not for little Caroline, sweet Caroline, good and helpful, darling Caroline. She needs her rest. What can you see in that picture? This is my silly brother. Stories shall be read every night. Animals may sleep on the bed. Do you know, when you get older and you get your house of your own, you could make your own rules. For example, my cat Millie sleeps on my bed. I did kick her out this morning at 5:25 because she was scratching at the bed saying, breakfast time. And I'm like, no, it's not. If I were boss on Sunday in our house, everyone would know who gets the wishbone and the biggest heap of ice cream. 2 helpings. Who that? Little Caroline, sweet Caroline, always eats her dinner out, darling Caroline. And it's not conditional on eating her vegetables either. Do your parents insist on you eating all your vegetables before you can have your dessert? My dad, later in his life, he said, I'm a vegetarian, I don't eat vegetables. But growing up, he'd always eaten his vegetables to show us that we had to eat them too. If I were boss for just 1 week in our house, I'd make them change their ways, and all for little Caroline, sweet Caroline, the golden-headed angel, that paragon of virtue, that beautiful, wonderful, marvellous she, that dearest, darling me. She's having to give her boss sticker back because it's Monday. Fussy Aunt Maud. Oh, she doesn't like the mouse for some reason. Oh. Right. Please draw me a picture of the pig. And perhaps you'd like to get your parent or adult to help you write about what you would do if you were boss in your house. Okay, see you later. Bye.